This is Out of the Box with your host, Jonathan Clark. Out of the Box, Sunday nights at 9 on Q1043.
Joe Satriani and Steve Vai join us on this show. It's the Satch Vai Band, which is a little weird to say, but I'm very excited. It's a new song as well called Dancin'. A wild video for that song, a forthcoming debut album from the band, and a show at the Beacon Theater May 28th on the Surfing with the Hydra Tour. All the info, satchvaiband.com. First of all, guys, being that you are both originally from Long Island, I'm just wondering, is New York, like, do you get more sort of friends and relatives, distant relatives asking you for tickets as opposed to any other show on the tour?
Yeah.
In a word, yes.
Yes, right. I think for us, two cities, right? When we do New York and when we do Milan. And because all the relatives come out in Milan as well. So,
Right.
Wait, Steve, your family's from that area of Italy as well?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, Dorno.
Northern.
Yeah. How crazy is that? We both have our extended, relatives living not too far from each other in Milan. So that's
crazy.
That's really crazy.
Did any
we
friends?
grew up like a mile apart.
Yeah, Carl Place, right? I mean, like, did any friends go to Cortina to check out the Olympics? Any of your relatives?
I haven't heard yet. So I'm wondering. I'm waiting for pictures, actually.
Yeah, because Cortina, is it far from Milan? I don't even know.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Anyway, your paths have crossed a lot over the years, and you've released music together in just the past couple of years, actually. What was a moment where you kind of said to each other, hey, this is kind of cool. We've never done this before. Let's put out a new album. One might think that this may have happened even years ago and not in 2026.
Well, I know that it came up a lot, like we should do a record together. When are we going to do a record together?
And then 10 years goes by, right? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
20, 30,
30.
we're so similar in that we're really driven and headstrong about, the things that we want to accomplish in our own sort of musical world. But I don't think it ever stressed me out. I just figured the moment would come. And it did, just sort of by accident. When we were finishing up the G3 reunion last year, Steve and I wanted to continue because it was so much fun. Eric was already booked for like a year and a half, so there was no way that he could continue this G3 reunion tour. And we said, well, we'll keep going because we're having a lot of fun. And then someone said, you guys should record a song, and then a second song, and then let's do an album. And before you know it, that's where we were. So it fell together very organically.
And Steve, how about for you?
Well, same thing. We were kind of, I know in the back of my mind, it was always, I wonder if we'll ever do that in full, because we've done little piecemeal things together through the years. And then, once we picked that lane and, of the going out on tour, Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, and then coming together and just deciding, you know what, this makes sense to put one band together and create like one show, just get an incredible band. And there's so much opportunity for us because we have our solo catalogs. So there's the show really kind of ebbs and flows as a tag team. With perhaps the majority of the time we're actually on the stage playing together, and it's either new stuff or it's maybe I'm playing on one of Joe's songs. We have a song that we've combined two of our tracks together. But I think for me, the real peak is when Joe and I are just standing on the stage and it's just an open E minor, kind of a thing going on, and we're trading. I mean, that's very nice moments.
And I just let it rip, right? I mean,
yeah, you get really connected in those moments.
To our listeners and viewers who don't know, tell us about Tosin Abasi and Animals as Leaders. They're going to be opening up, I think, the majority of the shows on this upcoming tour, right?
Yeah, all of them. An unbelievable band, completely new, groundbreaking. Tosin,
I've heard you speak
Javier,
about him
and
before,
Matt.
though.
Yeah, I mean they're really amazing. I got to see them play years ago when they joined us for a charity event, and I just thought it was so beautiful when I didn't stare at their fingers, which freaks me out, and I just sort of like closed my eyes and listened to it. I thought this is so huge, it's so moving, and the complexity just of their what they're playing actually creates this other thing that's really big and beautiful, very easy to enjoy and fall into. It's really a magical band and three amazing musicians.
So we tell everyone now, get there early for Tosin Abasi. This new song of yours, Dancing, I'm probably wrong, but when I first started listening to it, I said, is this a polka beat? I mean, because everybody does love a polka, right?
It's I have to show you this picture. There he is, the Paul Conte. He's the one who wrote it, an Italian pop singer, and he looks like quite a character, doesn't he?
Oh,
I mean,
Yeah.
he's like right out of a movie. I mean, come on.
I'm almost afraid that I'm going to meet him someday.
Yeah,
and,
right.
and he's going to say, "What did you do to my song?"
We'd get swaggered to death.
But I think when Steve originally brought the song to me, I thought he was crazy, but I knew Steve was crazy. I've always known that. So I thought I'm just going to go along with Steve's crazy idea. But I seem to remember at some point our producer, Eric Odia, mentioned reggaeton.
I heard
so
that
I
too.
think,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so we took this song that Steve had discovered from 81, 82, something like that.
Yeah, something like
and we modernized it, but Steve's got to tell you about his 18 guitar tracks that are on the song.
Yeah, Steve, because
Well,
I did hear some. I don't know if there's some guitar synth on that track. I mean, there's definitely
Yeah,
like you're soloing and stuff too, but is there guitar synth and things you're doing like on that level as well?
Well, first, I think you're going to have to wash the word polka out of your mouth.
I mean, I heard that dun 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 dun.
Yeah. Well, there was such a groove to that song, and the way he sang it, it was like sultry, and the horn arrangement, because it had this like Tijuana brass kind of a horn arrangement. I just kept hearing it with punchy guitars. So that groove, and it's very fast. It's very difficult to play because it's not that there's fast things being played, but when you're going at that tempo and you have all these syncopated rhythms, and I just heard that, that Latinish kind of groove with just these heavy guitars sort of and melodies. And I decided, I bet this would be interesting if all of those horns that were going on the track and then some were just layered guitars. And so that was the vision, and kind of when you get a vision like that, something takes over and then you have to do it. And then I just knew that Joe's touch on it and the way that we both phrase melodies on the guitar, it was a perfect opportunity to create this trading kind of like call and response with really in-your-face melody guitars. And I just think it turned out just great.
It's fantastic, and we're going to play it in a couple minutes here. The debut album from the Satch Vai band. How far along in the process are you guys? Do you have a date in mind of when we'll actually hear like a full album, or no? Or you just let's do this tour and then after, or like I don't even know.
No, it's finished. I'm looking at trying to figure out how to sequence it. Yes.
Hold it up again. Hold it up again so we can see it one more time.
One more time.
So there are the tracks. Okay. All right, fantastic.
I think I spelled everything right. Yeah, we've got to sequence it. We've got to do things like, time every mix and get all the credits. But that's what we're doing now when we're not doing interviews. But yeah, we hope to submit the fully mixed and mastered album within the next 7 days, right? Hopefully,
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah, I think
we
we're
get
on
there.
schedule.
And Yes, that would be great. And so
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure when the whole album gets released, but it would be as soon as possible after that.
Well, we look forward to that. Steve, tell us this amazing story quickly, if you can, about Brian May and the Red Special.
Oh, well, I've been so fortunate that, well, Joe and I both have befriended Brian May, and he was a big hero, huge. And that guitar that he plays, the Red Special, was something he built with his dad when he was like 18. So we're all enamored with this guitar. So Brian started to manufacture these guitars, many years later now. And we've known each other, and he's always been so kind and supportive of young musicians and other musicians. And he just took it upon himself and offered that guitar to me. He had it hand built, by his luthier, and it's a stunner to me. But there it is, and well, I don't have it out right now because we just moved in. But I mean, if you can only imagine your hero, one of your biggest heroes, gifting you something like that, it's going to go to the grave with me.
Well, and then like you were like 20 something, just moved to LA or something, and you ran into him and he let you like hold it or something, or.
Well, it was bizarre because I had just moved out to LA. I was 20 years old. Just a year before that, I was in my teenage bedroom with Queen posters and Led Zeppelin all over the walls. And I walk into the Rainbow, and there's Brian May standing at the bar. And I just thought, how is this, And he was so kind, he actually invited me to a Queen rehearsal. And I was just this unknown kid.
That is nuts.
And there I was. Yeah, the next day I was at Zoetrope, and there's Freddie, and there's all the guys. And then there it was, the Red Special. And I said, is that it? And he goes, that's it? You want to play it? And I'm like, oh, my gosh. And I just remember thinking, I can't play this thing. It's like the neck is like a bat. It's got like gauge 8 strings.
Yeah.
But it was a miracle to actually have the guitar under my fingers, and he allowed that. And Joe and I have had a great relationship with him since.
Yeah.
Joe, I was watching cable TV the other day. I think it was like BBC America or something. And I see you playing the national anthem at an Oakland A's game. The film is Moneyball, one of my favorite films, and I'm wondering how that experience was for you. Did you hang with Brad Pitt and Philip Seymour Hoffman and Robin Wright? And I think that scene was actually a reenactment of something that you actually did for the A's, right?
Yeah. It was a funny series of events. I was invited to play the anthem for the A's, and there was a funny thing that happened. When you go to do the anthems, you have to follow a producer who's standing there on the field, and they point to you and tell you exactly when to play, and you've got to keep it, a minute and 57 seconds. It's very well timed. There's jets flying over, TV cameras. And so I was cued to play. I did the anthem, and then when I finished, I heard somebody announcing my name, wafting through the stadium. And so I said to the producer, do you want me to play it again? And they said no. And they, took my amps off the field and everything. And so for the 10,000 people in front of me who were standing up, listening to the anthem, they thought I had just played the anthem. But for the rest of the stadium, they thought, why is that guy protesting and walking off the field when they announced his name? So the A's were mortified. So they said, we're so sorry. Will you come back in 2 weeks when we do the opening season, the game? And I said, sure, don't worry about it. So I go to that game. That just happens to be the game that they focus on in the movie Moneyball. So when the director is putting this whole thing together, he says, well, who played the anthem? And they say, oh, it was Joe. We had him back because we screwed it up the first time. And I still had the jacket, the shoes, the guitar.
Awesome.
Everything. For some reason, I still had everything. So it was easy to reenact it. And
right. Continuity. It's film. You got to make it look. Yeah.
Yeah. And yes, we got to, meet Philip, who was all dressed up as a,
manager
in his gear. But, when you make movies, it's brutal. You get there at 6 in the morning, and you just hang out. It's worse than rock and roll. I mean, you know how to rock and roll, you hang around a lot, but movies is just beyond hanging around.
Billy
But
Bean, did you ever meet Billy Bean?
I didn't get to meet him. He wasn't on set that day. I mean, that was just one day with let's see, that particular day they were shooting a game on the field, so
Right.
there was quite a few extras there, and the stadium was filled up with extras as well. But Brad was there and Philip, but not all of the actors and extras were present for that particular shoot.
I love it.
But the director actually shot me. That was what was so much fun. He took the camera from whoever the camera guy was, and he shot my segment by hand. So it was really a lot of fun. It was very sort of casual.
Well, if anyone's going to see Moneyball, look for Joe Satriani's national anthem in the film. Guys, is it true that you're going to have an actual tour bus on this tour?
Yeah, I love tour buses.
Oh, Steve, you posted something on Instagram about how you love tour buses.
Yeah, tour buses, it's like it creates this collective, like a roving youth gang or something. And it's like it becomes your home. And it's a great place. The tour buses are beautiful. They have bunks, they have televisions, they've got little kitchenettes, they've got everything. And they got these great lounges that you hang out with your friends after the show. It's one of my favorite parts of touring. Of course, being on stage is great, but the tour bus, it's like your little sanctuary, your traveling town. And if there's one place in the world that you can be as a rock musician or as a musician that will give you peace of mind and is excluded from anybody else's purview, it's your bunk. It's your bunk on the bus, and it's fantastic. And it is very different than being an actor, because I've done a little filming, and but no, when we're on tour, you sleep as late as you want. When you have a tour bus, you could just go, and then you after the show, you just walk out of the gig, and you're right on your home. You're walking onto your home, and it's a great place to bond as a band and laugh. So it's great.
I love it. It's the Satch Vai Band, Joe Satriani and Steve Vai. New song called Dancin', which we're going to play here in a second. Wild video for that song, a forthcoming debut album from the band. Look for that soon. A show at the Beacon Theater May 28th on the Surfing with the Hydra Tour. All the info, satchvaiband.com. Joe and Steve, can't wait for the Beacon show. Thanks for taking the time, and stay safe, and we'll see you soon.
All right. So good to see you, man. Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Thanks.
This is Out of the Box with your host, Jonathan Clark. Out of the Box, Sunday nights at 9 on Q1043.